You may think you know everything there is to know about dogs, but it's likely that you've fallen for some common doggy facts that are actually completely untrue. For example, you have probably heard that it's okay for dogs to lick their wounds, or that dog poop will fertilize the yard, or even that some punishment is needed to teach dogs proper behavior. In this video, we will separate fact from fiction by sharing 11 misconceptions about dogs. More baths mean a cleaner dog. Some dog owners love to go the extra step and bathe their dog too often. Even though your intentions may be good, overbathing your dog can cause problems in the long run. Too much bathing can dry out their skin, damage their fur or hair follicles, and disrupt the dog's natural insulation. Unless directed by your vet, do not bathe your dog more than once a week. Some punishment is needed to teach dogs proper behavior. Punishment should never be used when dealing with an unwanted behavior. It's animal abuse, and it can cause far more behavioral problems than it solves, especially if used on a dog with fear or anxiety-related problems. This type of management will eventually increase a dog's fear, arousal, and possibly aggression, and the pet may become fearful of the owner. Even worse, punishments can turn a positive situation into one that is unpleasant or negative for your canine. For example, if your dog is often punished when he barks at visitors in your home or strangers that pass by your house, he may become increasingly fearful of new visitors and passers-by. It is much more effective to use reward-based training than it is to use physical punishment. Reward-based training helps build trust and a strong bond between the dog and its owner. It encourages a dog to behave in a desired way. But when an owner uses physical punishment, a dog can concentrate only on one thing. It hurts, and I don't like it. It brings distrust of humans. My dog must be angry with me. She knows what she did was wrong. Many dogs show submissive behaviors when their owners arrive home and find their dog has destroyed their couch. These behaviors of tucking the tail, putting the ears back, or avoiding eye contact do not mean "I am sorry" in dog language. They mean "stop being angry at me." These behaviors indicate that the dog has learned to associate the return of people with the presence of feces, garbage, or other destroyed items on the floor. The dog is not angry. She is afraid because in the past, when people arrived home and these items were on the floor, she was yelled at or punished. Even if the dog wasn't scolded, the angry body language of the human is clear to the dog, and the dog still learns to feel fear when people arrive. Remember, dogs are incapable of associating any punishment with an action that occurred in the past, and canines are not capable of feeling complex emotions such as guilt or shame. Punishment in these circumstances does not teach the dog anything, except to fear the arrival of their human. Dog poop will fertilize your lawn. Not only isn't this true, but actually, the exact opposite has been proven by many studies. While cow manure is a great fertilizer, dog feces, on the other hand, do not have the same makeup due to canines' diet. A high protein-based diet makes a very acidic poop, which is not hospitable to growing anything. There have been many studies on how dog feces contaminate the soil and pollute the environment. This is why it is important that dog owners use proper dog poop bags and clean up after their pets. Dog saliva can heal wounds. Many dog owners believe that they should let their dogs lick their wounds to speed up the healing process. While there is evidence that some of the enzymes in saliva can help the healing process, there are other things lurking in the mouth that can do just the opposite. In fact, there's more harm than good that can come from allowing your dog to lick its wounds. A dog's mouth, just like any other living being, can have some nasty bacteria that could cause a wound to become infected. Licking can even remove stitches that have been placed there by your vet. So, make sure to prevent your dog from licking its wounds at all costs, even if it means making your pet wear the dreaded e-collar for some time. Pit bulls are inherently dangerous. While some studies have presented reliable data that suggest pit bulls are responsible for more dog bites than other dog breeds, other reputable studies have contradicted this finding by determining that a dog's breed doesn't determine its propensity for aggression. In fact, research has shown that pit bulls consistently score above the average in temperament tests. These temperament tests entailed putting a dog through a series of unexpected situations, some involving strangers. Pit bulls had a passing rate of 82%, compared to only 77% of the general dog population. As with any dog breed, training, early socialization, and a good home life are all important factors when it comes to living in harmony with humans and other animals. So, the loss past stigmatizing breeds like pit bulls only isolates them further. On a personal note, I own a pit bull named Max, and he is the sweetest dog I have ever had. A dog's thick fur coat means they stay warm in the winter. While a husky or malamute will be less susceptible to the cold than a chihuahua, a thick fur coat doesn't mean your dog can be exposed to cold temperatures for a long period of time. In fact, in extended cold temperatures, dogs are most likely to develop frostbite on their paws, the tip of their ears, or tails. Even thick-coated dog breeds don't have a lot of protection in these areas and are vulnerable to health threats. Winter can be great fun for some dogs, but make sure they aren't exposed to those extreme cold temperatures for too long. If you train your dog using treats, you will always need them to get the dog to listen. Dog training research has shown this is completely untrue. Treats are an excellent means of teaching and reinforcing a behavior in dogs. Once your canine learns a new behavior, intermittent reinforcement is the best way of maintaining the desired behavior and making it most resistant to extinction. This means that you only have to use the treats periodically once the behavior is learned. A fearful and anxious dog must have been abused in the past. When people adopt a dog that exhibits fearful behavior, they often assume the dog was abused. And although that may sometimes be the case, it's not always the case. Many fearful dogs have had a safe home life, and yet they still suffer from different fears and phobias. There are many factors that go into developing fears in canines, and abuse is just one of them. For example, a well-loved dog who has had limited social exposure can develop a fear of humans despite being loved and well-treated. When a puppy is growing, they go through several developmental stages. One of those stages, commonly known as sensitive period of development, is a time when everything the puppy encounters that does not hurt or frighten them is accepted as a non-threat. This period is from approximately 3 weeks of age to 14 weeks. This is a critical time in puppy development, and anything not encountered during this time is likely to be approached with suspicion. This is why it's important for puppies to be safely and intentionally exposed to new sights, sounds, scents, dogs, and people during this socialization period. All dogs are good swimmers. Many people believe all dogs are natural swimmers. While some dogs do like being in water, not all of them are good at swimming. Swimming ability depends on your dog's breed and structure. Some breeds, like retrievers, are natural and enthusiastic swimmers. The dogs that have a powerful chest and a heavy skull, like bulldogs, boxers, or dachshunds, are not very good swimmers. And keep in mind that many small dogs should be put in water in a more careful way because they have a thin coat and less body fat, and are more prone to hyperthermia. 1 year of a dog's life is equal to 7 human years. How dogs age can vary by breed, but there's no evidence that a year in dog life equals 7 years of human life. In fact, this estimation is a good example of oversimplification. A 2019 study by researchers at the University of California, San Diego, revealed a new method to calculate the actual age of dogs. By tracking changes in DNA molecules and methyl group patterns, scientists were able to estimate the ages of dogs. Based on this study, a 1-year-old dog was comparable to a 31-year-old human, while a 5-year-old dog is comparable to a 57-year-old human. Every dog should have a litter before being spayed. There is no medical evidence to justify allowing a dog or cat to have a litter before spaying.